Hi, Scott Orlin with Cinema Magazine. I'm here at the 13th Annual Zurich Film Festival, and last night the gentleman I'm about to introduce you to was awarded not only the Lifetime Achievement Award, but had the premiere of his new film, Shock and Awe. Rob Reiner.
Hey!
First of all, congratulations,
Rob.
I was doing a little research. 50 years you've been creating things in the entertainment business. Is it surreal to look back as they do a retrospective, because we probably think like it was yesterday?
Well, it's interesting when you look at all of those things that you're involved in. It's like brings back memories. It's like home movies. It's like watching home movies. You know, you think, oh, I remember the day we did that or that happened, and it's kind of like, you know, it's like a trip down memory lane. It was really nice.
But what is fascinating, and I'm sure many of you who are familiar with Rob's work, is the level of talent that you have showcased in your movies. And now with your new film, Shock and Awe, you've got another amazing cast. Do you find that there's a camaraderie amongst actors that they like to work with you?
Well, I think hopefully they do. I mean, I'm an actor, so I think I understand what they go through, and I think they trust me because of that. And I would never ask an actor to do something that I couldn't do. And if I can do it, then I know that they can do it, because all of them are better than me.
No. You see his work, you're incredibly very funny and very poignant. Speaking of poignancy, when I saw this movie last night, I was fascinated. Every so often, cyclical in cinema, we come across films that are so incredibly topical of the day, that they strike this responsive chord. When you see Shock and Awe, you'll understand, even though it takes place in 2003, it could literally be about the press today.
Yeah.
The government is suppressing something. Is it the responsibility of filmmakers to open up current topics and use film as a medium to discuss it?
I don't think it's a responsibility of filmmakers, but I do believe that it is the responsibility of filmmakers, if they're going to make a film that is historically based, that it be accurate and that we tell the truth, because that is what is under attack right now in journalism. You hear all this fake news and you know, the social media is pushing out all this fake news. And in order for us to have a healthy democracy, we need a free and independent press. And right now, the press is under attack. So that's what the film is about. It's about whether or not we're going to survive as a democracy, is whether or not we have an informed public, and we'll only have an informed public if we have a free and independent medium.
I remember back in the 1970s, it was fascinating. What people think is a golden age of cinema is how so many films were topical and took on such relevant material. Do you think now, without naming names, why, that filmmakers, I mean, Steven Spielberg has The Post that's about to come out. We're seeing a lot more people announce projects that they seem to want to discuss things that maybe they didn't want before.
Well, I think there's always been filmmakers that have wanted to tackle political issues and talk about important issues. I mean, Oliver Stone's done that for years. There's a lot of filmmakers that have wanted to do that, but I think right now it's tougher for a filmmaker to want to talk about something serious, because the studios don't make those films. So if you want to do it, you have to find independent financing, and you have to cobble together all kinds of different streams of funding in order to get a film made. So it makes it more difficult, but there's always been a desire, I think, to tell stories that have hopefully some meaning and some impact. And
this is the last question for you. I mean, we always talk about a filmmaker's voice, and that we kind of get to see through his work that, you know, we've seen that, but you have a political voice too. And I don't know, maybe people in Germany are aware that this man is really responsible for not only overturning Prop 8 in California, but helping getting marriage equality in the United States.
Right.
As successful as all your cinema and television stuff has been, is there a different gratification that comes with something like that?
There is. You know, whenever I get approached, because we were the first, Michelle and my wife and I were the first ones with Chad Griffin and Christina Schock. We started the American Foundation for Equal Rights, and we were the first group to file a federal lawsuit for marriage equality, and it made its way to the Supreme Court, and we overturned, like you say, Prop 8, and it led the way to marriage equality around the country. And I could tell you that whenever somebody approaches me who said, because of you, I was able to get married, I married the person I love, you know, whether it's man, woman, I get a thrill out of that, because you know that you did something to allow somebody to have the same rights that you have. And there's a bigger thrill actually to that than, but it's a nice thrill when people like your films too.
Well, I think we all stand in shock and awe. See how I perfectly
I
tied
see
that
it.
in?
You
That's a
worked
good
it in.
segue into there.
You worked it in.
Rob Reiner, as always, such a pleasure. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And this is Scott Orlin. Until next time.